Good morning, Year 10. It is Miss Sullivan here. The theme for the lesson this week is going to be continuing with your natural forms project, and it's going to be a workshop on working with fabric. So fabric and textiles is something that in school some of you may have not done before because there's not currently a textiles department. However, art and textiles work hand in hand in terms of a career. Whether it's embroidery, whether it's to do with art on clothes, fabrics and textiles. So today I'm going to introduce you to the artist William Morris. So William Morris is a really famous and well-known traditional designer who is famously known for his incredible natural forms prints, embroidery and textiles. So he was an interior designer. There's actually a fantastic William Morris museum in London as well. So maybe we'll get a chance to go to that after lockdown is finished. But I want you to complete some research on William Morris today, so it can be a short page and you can have a go at including some of his drawings, so they might inspire your work today. So I'd like you to carry out some independent research on the artist William Morris today. If you look closely, you can see that he uses quite specific colours in his palette, so he works with a lot of dark colours and then with some really intense brights. But he uses fantastic detail in his work. This is one of the reasons I wanted to share with you the artist William Morris, because a lot of you have been looking at leaves and flowers for your natural forms. There's some incredible tones with light and dark shades and further details inside. He also looks at fruit as well, nature and animals. So I want you to carry out some research, complete a research page in your book or on paper about William Morris. So that's one of the tasks that you'll be doing this week. The next task is you're going to have a go at working onto fabric to create some art, and it should be influenced by everything you've completed so far. So I'm going to talk you through some of the examples and practices I've had a go at this week and share them with you. So hopefully now you're really building up your development. You should have lots of recording. You would have taken lots of photos last lesson. So I'm just going to pull up my photos that I carried out. These are just some of them. And I was really inspired by the brightness of the pinks and the yellow and the contrast that they had in these images, as well as the yellows and greens in these images of floral features and flowers as well. So these photos have really influenced and inspired my work today. So as you can see, my project has progressed now from my initial ideas through to vine development, working with bleach and ink. I've started to develop certain patterns that relate to some of the things I've been drawing. And then again, you can see some of these ideas come through in my teabag monoprints and through to my photos here. So since completing my photos, I have really been inspired by pinks, yellows and greens, and I wanted to share with you my development today. Slightly inspired by William Morris, I have used watercolour and also oil pastels on an old canvas tote bag. Now, cotton is probably the best. Cotton is probably the best material to work on in terms of painting and applying other forms of medium. You could use an old pillowcase. It could be an old t-shirt, but something which doesn't have too much stretch in it, like this tote bag, works really well. So a pillowcase is made from a similar type of material. And I've also used different processes that we've been using over the last few weeks on this piece as well. So you can see that this piece is heavily inspired by my latest set of photographs that I took, and it is also influenced from every piece that I've been working on over the last few months. So each thing has developed through to the next. I didn't quite like this colour palette. I thought it was a bit intense, a bit bright, but I did like the idea of pink. And I obviously did some natural forms drawings inspired by petals, and I actually used this photo for that as well, so you can still see where I've linked in my ideas. I've also I've created a little canvas. So you can buy these again really cheap from The Works. I think you can get 3 for £1, or buy them on Amazon. They're very, very cheap indeed. 3 for £3. I think they're £1 each. So that could be something, because they're made of canvas. It might be that you want to sew into them after. They're a really good material for that. And again, we're going to sew into, using hand stitch, whatever you create in this textile focused lessons this week. So like I said, this week the focus is going to be William Morris. If you find another artist, a textiles artist that looks at natural forms, I would love to see you do some research on that. Obviously this week and the next week, lessons are going to be changing slightly. So the tasks that I set this week are going to be the same as next week. So I will expect you to just spend longer on these activities. So there's lots of different activities. I want you to do a William Morris research page. I want you to then find your own artist that does works with textiles and natural forms, and do some research on them and have a go at working in their style. And then I want you to create this fabric piece, or maybe a canvas piece. It doesn't have to be a large scale, but those tasks are going to run over the next couple of weeks. I would say that this piece here, like I said, again, inspired by my photos, probably it's taken me a couple of hours to complete. You know, I've really looked at my photos and looked at experimenting with different patterns and techniques that I've already used. As you can see, with the colours and with some of the textures that comes through in my previous work here. So you can see it feels like one project. And the other processes that I've brought through into my fabric piece are, I use the T-Brag mono printing process for the background on this one to create the print, and then I work back into it with oil pastels and with some watercolour. This is all watercolour and oil pastels here. You can use almost anything on cotton fabric. You could use pen, pencil. We're not going to be washing these, they are just going to be artistic pieces. If you're going to wash them, then you'd need to use special fabric inks and dyes. But these are just artistic pieces. And the reason that we're doing it on fabric specifically is it's a different texture to work on. And also, I'm going to show you another lesson, another video of how you can sew into your artwork as well to create a 3D embroidered effect. So hopefully that is clear. Obviously, if you've got any questions, you're not sure if the material you've got is suitable, then please get in touch. It is better if it's white or cream. If you've got some material lying around, then that is really, really useful. Please make sure that you are really, really thinking about detail in your work. Thinking about light and dark tones. You know, use your palette to mix with. Most of you have got watercolours at home now. So I want you to really start practicing quality outcomes. Watch the videos, the tutorials that I gave you last week for Thursday's lesson, and really take on board the advice that they give you as well. Hopefully that is clear on what I want you to do this week or over the next couple of weeks. I will be checking in with you at various points. I know who's going to be in school and who is not. But please, please, please just get on with these tasks as and when you feel. I will remind you, but I want a William Morris research page. I want a research page of an artist you found that relates to natural forms, and then I want to see you working into some fabric, whether it's an old pillowcase, an old tote bag, an old t-shirt, but preferably a white or light material. And then later on, I will do another video over the next few weeks that will show you how to sew into this using hand sewing. Hopefully that is clear. Those of you that are in school, I hope everything goes well. And those of you that are obviously working from home, please put a lot of effort into this task. This is a really, really good kind of judge of your ideas so far, a really good development task that shows observation from your photos. Please use those photos to help you. Hopefully that is clear. Again, lots more experimenting. I want to see your creativity in these tasks. Take care. Many thanks, Miss Sullivan.